If you're going to choose just one video of mine to watch this next one coming up. Really, his name is Sidney Armani. And this guy is a hotshot out in Northern California, in Silicon Valley, and a venture capitalist and everything. And he's sort of an older kind of guy. He's been around the road for a while. But he too believes, like I do, that this crowdfunding on the internet is probably going to be the next biggest thing that's going to hit America, the globe, or wherever the heck you are. And it really democratizes money for people to do anything. You don't need credit, you don't need experience, you don't need anything, just the gumption to try it. And it doesn't cost anything to try it. Now, he has a website that's trying to organize all this information. It's one of the best websites I've seen. It looks better than CNN's website or whatever. It's really a slick kind of website that keeps up on all the developments. Plus, he's getting involved in crowdfunding for real estate and things like that, so the little guy can get in on big deals or whatever. And that's, but as an overall picture of what's going on, what you don't want to be is the last one in the world to take advantage of this opportunity. And that's what's going to happen right now. So the elites and the smart people, the people are on the front end of things and trying all the, they're seeing this, and they're taking advantage of it and doing quite well. And see, what's neat about this is it doesn't matter if you fail. You try it and you're going to learn something because it doesn't cost you any money. So watch this interview. Well, Sidney Armani, man, I just think your website, crowdfundbeat.com. Now, this is just the nicest website I've seen on not only crowdfunding or getting money from the internet, but just on anything. I mean, obviously, you put so much time and love into this website. It is so easy to read. You have so much information. It's presented so nicely. I am so jealous. You're going to get me out of the information business because you're doing it so well, man. But the crowdfunding issue, it's obviously part of your heart, and I see that you believe in what this has to offer to the rest of the community, don't you?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Matthew, thank you for having me at your show. I appreciate it. I have to disclose here that I am one of your fan, and
Oh, you're the one.
I mean, from the days that you were in the Larry King show, and I was one of those people. You create this monster here a little bit. I was one when bought your book, and I have it here in my library, and the thing was the best information. Was all this about. It's just before anybody was out there giving information to the public, you were in front of all these things going on. So hey, I'm your student.
Thank you so much. But I mean, that's why I'm excited about crowdfunding, and it's fun to find you because you are really building, many different platforms to, encourage the communities, no matter who you are, to teach people about it. And I think that's what has to be done because, the rich people are going to find this quickly and take advantage of it because they know a good things when it sees them. Now, when they see it, but the rest of the world, doesn't have time, and so they have to be educated. And could you explain why you think that this is such an important idea in almost any community?
Yeah, well, I mean, I always, start with something, and I go to these conferences and trying to, pass what I learned in this crowdfunding about a 2 year right now, being involved in around the world, basically, and learn about it academically. What I found out, it's nothing. I always start to say, this is nothing new. They figured out this crowdfunding from century. When you go to church in the end of the day, when they pass the plate, that's crowdfunding. You're paying your money to the government. That's you're crowdfunding the government. So we've been doing all this thing always, you want to build something in a local basis, they vote. Now, what happened with this crowdfunding, it just gave the power to the crowd. So it's not so much about raising money. It's about different situations. You can do crowd collaborate and, instead of building some machine or something like that, somewhere out of the overseas, you can just kind of say, this is what we want, this is how we want to build us. So the crowd become very powerful. They pay for it, they wait for it. And that's what I found out about. It's very important because the community can basically raise money and raise money for very school projects, playground. You can see those high school in any local basis, high school, they need money for. So this is very, very the way of, instead of going door to door selling lemonade, you can just say go to my crowdfunding site, so everybody contribute.
But it sounds like what you're saying is that the people can decide that this is a good thing to do and encourage it to happen by putting up money up front for someone to make it happen, right?
Exactly. And if it's not a bad idea, so people don't like it. It's not that, so that's the beauty of it. It's so the other side of it, something good idea, whatever it is, people see it. It's just basically, and to see if it's a bad idea, well, good luck to you. And you can try again. And it's not a bad, by the way, that's not a bad idea also, because once you go to the platform, it doesn't happen. I said, don't get discouraged because you have data, what people like.
Well, I don't know about your life, Sydney, but mine is full of failures. I mean, I've written 100 books, but only 10 have made any money. So I know I'm wrong 90% of the time.
No, but you know what? Listen, I'm here in Silicon Valley, and a lot of these people, they started, and that and there's a lot of these people, they're illusional optimists, but if they were not illusional optimists, we wouldn't have this Apple, we wouldn't have any of these element that we have in our daily life. You have to imagine, so it's, first time you fail, there's a lot of company, you started again. But back to the crowd, this is very powerful because you start with your social network. You have an idea, you want to do a concert. It doesn't need to be a product. You want to do something for your community, whatever it is, and helping somebody, has raising. I mean, we have a story, you're talking about crowdfunding, and we put a lot of this in story. We find an 11 years old raise money for a cancer patient.
Wow,
I mean,
11-year-old child.
yeah, it's an 11 years old child. I mean, he started the campaign, and and then somebody had a cancer, or some dog need to be rescued. So these element works. People look for these kind of a good story, and we in America, we're very generous. We always help when something happened to Haiti and other earthquake happening somewhere else.
Right.
We're very generous. I mean, people. So we have to start. We have to see around ourselves in our community, so this is a good stuff. It's a very, very, it's not all about the money, and it makes money if you have a good idea, if you have a product, but also it helps the community. It gives you power of as a crowd, be a part of it. So it's very important.
It seems to me it gets rid of gatekeepers who are in charge, whether it's a bureaucrat deciding how the money's going to go out, or a politician, or a venture capitalist, or something like that, who decides everything. This way, the people who want it done decide.
Yeah, well, it's a playing field has become level because the old days of, let's say, politicians starting doing crowdfunding too, because and you got to go with it. If you pay money, you have to have a video, you have to know what's going on.
Right.
But basically, used to go and get big check from the big corporation, big other thing. Now they don't do that. They have to go get it from the crowd, and crowd has to see it, whether they like you, whether you have something for them. So it's a great thing, and all these things come together because we went right now 2014. We're going to this social networking allows you that first you start with your community, your family. If you have an idea, shoot it on the Facebook, tweet it for you. So you have these followers, and then you go, other people pick up the stories, and always people look for a good story, whatever. You're trying to help a cancer patient somewhere, you're trying to help a dog get home from somewhere. It's just a beautiful thing.
No, I love those stories. Yeah.
Yeah, we put those stories right there in the crowdfunding.
Do you have any feeling, like, can you say what in recent history this is like how important do you think it is? I mean, it is something in their recent past that this could equate to that you've seen. I mean, you're out in Silicon Valley, you see a lot of stuff happen out there, yeah? Well, how important do you feel this can become?
And that's a good question. Thanks for asking. I've been here in the heydays of the Silicon Valley, when the computers, they all, desktop, then we had to laptop. Now we have all this mobile, and it's just a lot of things happen here, telecommunication, phones. I don't think anybody has phone at home anymore. Everybody uses their cell phone. I mean, so it's very, so this is a very important element of the, a lot of companies. What I know, a lot of big companies, they're looking to this, from IBM to the big boys are in here. They're looking to this very, the car right now, one of the manufacturing, Ford and Chrysler, they're looking for this crowdfunding and crowd collaboration. So they want, yeah, so it's a big corporation. This is very involved. It's just not a film industry. So they want to build a car basically, and they don't want to be building a car and put it in the shelf, put it in, dealership, say, hey, this is the car, have it. They want to know what the crowd likes it. They get involved in early stage. They put some money down. They can, communicate with their audience. So it's evolving something. That's what it's all about. Is revolutionize. So you let's say there's another couple company. You put your investment for what you believe. Let's say you're buying a diaper, you're finding, hey, these diapers are good for your kids. Not that I have those. I'm past. I'm glad I'm past that. But let's say you buy, but it's true. You like P&G, Procter and Gamble. They have these. So let's say you want to buy this particular. The brand is good, so you invest in this company, invest in what you believe. So it's got a lot of these angle on that crowd collaboration, crowdfunding, crowdsourcing.
Right. And these are the fat cats doing it. So they could buy anything they want, but they realize this free stuff is better.
Exactly. I mean, they see it is good. They take it home and say, hey, this is good. What can I invest on it? Used to go to basically, to in stock market, a lot of things they want to invest at the given. Now they can directly invest in these companies, and for the new products. And hey, I want to have, and I interview a lot of people. Somebody said, I said, how did you build this thing? I said, well, that's good. I said, well, how did you come up with this idea? So, well, my best idea come from the crowd. The crowd will tell me, hey, do you remember this happened in a Batman? The phone did like that. I said, oh yeah, well, you can do that. So it's very important, this element. So to go back to your question, what do I think about? This is going to be a big revolution about the crowd collaboration, crowdfunding. Movie industries are getting to this. They want to know what's the big buzzword is.
We got to run. Let me make sure that people know where to find you. It's crowdfundbeat.com, right? And you have
they go to www.crowdfund, CROWDFUND, beat, BEAT. They can go and we have a lot of article, we have a lot of data, but they can go to a lot of these articles, put this search word. Let's say somebody wants to get to the real estate. That's one of the element that works in the crowdfunding, because you can buy a real estate. They put this real estate and they get a lot of art.
I see how excited you are, Sydney. So am I. That's the way to be. We could sit here and scream at each other, but my film ran out. Okay. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Matthew, and I wish all of your listeners continue. I'm going to watch, and all the best in 2014 and behind.
Wonderful. Take care, Sydney. Glad to have you there.
Thank you.
Okay, so I hope Sydney gave you enough spark to get out there and try this. There's dozens, even hundreds. There's going to be thousands of sites like this to try. So keep looking and keep trying.